Hi, welcome to Beef Cattle Institute's Ask the Experts. I'm Brad White, and this is the program where our experts will answer your questions. And I've got two great experts with me today, Dr. Dustin Pendle from Ag Econ.
Good morning.
And Dr. Philip Lancaster from here at VetMed, who does nutrition.
Hello, guys.
So on this show, we've got a chance to answer your questions. If you have a question for us, you can send it to us at bci@ksu.edu. And then as they answer their questions, they'll get up to 10 points for their answer. And today's listener question is a good one, and it is, should I buy or try to raise my replacement heifers? Dustin, I'm going to you first.
That's a really great question. I think there's a lot of different things that can go into this when you're thinking about it, such as, relative feed cost, what's the price of calves at this time of year, what kind of facilities do you have, what kind of management level do you maybe have for your operation, what's the herd size, so all those kinds of things. And there's a lot of things that go into play in this. And so if I need to pick a couple, I would say I assume I'm a smaller herd. Average herd size is 45 cows. So if I'm a smaller herd, I would probably look to purchase because I want to bring in some new genetics from outside the, smaller herds probably have an outside the farm job. So my management's I'm not going to be there all the time. So it's going to have a little bit less hands-on. And so if I had to pick, that's probably what I would do is purchase them.
Okay, so with some assumptions, purchase them, start out with 5 points for Dustin. Philip?
I'm going to go for the genetic angle, but I'm going to suggest, or my preference would be to raise my own, because I can control the genetics better. I can control when those heifers were bred. I can control when those heifers were born, so that they fit in with my calving season a lot better. I might purchase some here or there if I want to bring in some new genetics on the female side. But overall, I would prefer to raise them myself, and that, depending on costs and things like that, I think I could probably raise them for about the same price as I could purchase them for.
Okay, so knotted up 5-5, and kind of what you're saying is you want your importance of genetics is the same to you, but you're going to bring in maybe new genetics on the male side instead of the female side more often, and you get to pick your genetics. So follow-up question. So since you're going to purchase, how do you identify the right heifers for your operation?
Oh, that's a really good question. I guess I would, probably talk with some seed stock producers, try to figure out what works for my situation, whether that's environment, the geographic location, and then from there try to, find various seed stock producers maybe in my region that have a good reputation, visit with them, try to figure out what kind of genetics they have, try to figure out what it is I'm looking for in my herd. And then finally what I would do, before I did any of that, I probably would also pencil everything out. I would sit down and figure out, build a spreadsheet or use a spreadsheet that's already out there at your local land-grant university to figure out, is it cost effective to, raise my own or purchase replacements.
Okay. So figure out which ones fit into your operation by talking to some of the other folks, finding out what has worked in the past, and go through the process of thinking about what are some of the spreadsheet answers to this question.
Yep, definitely, as Philip mentioned, just work through the economics and then kind of interview people, just figure out what's out there and what would work best for your situation.
Excellent. So 8 points for Dustin. Philip, I'm going to turn to you since you were going to raise your own, and I asked him about how he'd pick which ones fit into his operation. I'm going to ask you the same question, except you're picking from among calves you've raised.
Mm-hmm. So I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to tag those calves at birth, because one of my most important criteria is age, because I want those heifers that were born in the first 21 days of my calving season, because they are more likely to reach puberty early enough that I can get them bred to calve in the first 21 days of the calving season. And so that then those become they've got a higher probability of becoming a long-lasting cow in my herd. My next criteria is weight. I want to look for heifers that are average weight or maybe a little bit better, but I don't want them to be too heavy because I don't want really large size cows. And then I'll start looking at some of the other genetic traits from the bulls that those cows were bred or those heifers came from.
Absolutely. Several good criteria. So as we wrap up today, it looks like you can make a choice on which of those works best for your operation. Philip ended up with 9, Dustin with 8. If you have questions for us in the future, send us an email at bci@ksu.edu.